Today, I want to talk about 7 ways to improve self-discipline. So stay tuned. My name is Jay, and welcome to Ask a Debt Collector. Now, I've been in the debt collection industry for over 15 years. I've done it all, from skip tracing to collecting to management, and I've owned 2 debt collection agencies. For the past 8 years, I've been the go-to guy for friends and family for questions regarding debt and credit, and now I want to be that person for you. If you have any questions, put them down in the comment section. I promise I'll answer those questions. Let's go. For Motivation Friday, I want to talk about self-discipline. But before I go there, I've been getting, over the last 2 days, a lot of letters with regards to pay for delete. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a letter that I've been giving anybody who asks, who sends me an email with regards to an account. So if you had an account that you verified, obviously you owe it and you have to pay it, a lot of times when you pay an account, or you settle an account, it'll show on your credit report as paid in full or settled in full. But there's a letter that you can send out to collection agencies, which is a pay for delete, basically stating that when you pay, whether you settle or you pay in full, that they'll delete the account. So I have an actual template for that. If you want that template for free, absolutely for free, email me at askadebtcollector@barrettrecovery.com. Again, that's askadebtcollector@barrettrecovery.com. Be sure to like and subscribe so I can send you guys more and more content, and we'll go from there. So, 7 ways to improve self-discipline. The reality is, with discipline, that's probably one of the, for myself, let me speak for myself, one of the most difficult things that I've ever had, right? The thought process, is always that. What happens? You end up seeing something on YouTube. I may see a commercial. I may even hear a story, and it motivates me, right? But with motivation, as we all know, it's only temporary. The main thing that we need, the main thing that you need, is self-discipline. It is so vital for your life, because with self-discipline, you can accomplish anything. And I say that because I'm accomplishing stuff. I have so many more goals, so much more to do. But with the discipline, I've realized having that self-discipline is what helps me propel to where I need to be. So let's get into the 7 ways to improve self-discipline. Number 1, count down, then take action. The reality is, for myself, one of the biggest things that I always struggle with is it could be Thursday, and in my head, I know that I need to do something. I need to start doing something. And a misconception that I do is I'll say, I'll wait till Monday. Monday, I'll try and do it. And the reality is, what I've been challenging myself now is, once I get something in my head and it's like, hey, I need to do this thing right now, I have a countdown, and my countdown typically states that I have to do it within 2 hours or 24 hours. But you have to have that countdown, right? Number 2, put your goals where you can see them every day. Every single day when I come into my office, I have up there, which I pre-do on Thursdays, because I don't ever want to do anything on Mondays, just because I've always used that as an excuse. But Thursdays is pretty much the day that I start my week. I meet with my wife. We go over our finances. We go over our goals with regards to what we want to do. We set up, where we're at, where we want to be, and all of that type of stuff. We meet for about 8 hours. Well, technically, we're supposed to be 8 hours, but we meet for about 4 hours where we go over those things. Number 3, remind yourself why you started. I always talk about your why. You have to understand your why, because your why is going to help you on that morning when it becomes hard to do something, right? For instance, let me explain something to you. I do a thing called Miracle Morning. Not necessarily, I don't follow by a T, but a guy by the name of Hal Elrod has a book called The Miracle Morning. It's basically a book where you're actually waking up and starting your morning before you actually get to work. So basically what I do is I wake up, I do a 20-minute meditation. After the 20-minute meditation, I do about a 20-minute stretch from head to toe. Then from there, I'll do 100 push-ups, about 200 sit-ups. That's where I'm at right now. And then from there, I'll go run. I'll run 2 miles. And then when I come back, I'll take my shower, and then basically I'll get started on my day, right? So I'm waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's the discipline that I have to have in order to do so every single morning. But the reason why I do that every single morning is because I want better for my life. I want better for my kids' life. I want better for my wife and my family, right? And so I have to remind myself every single morning. There are times I'll get up and I don't want to get up. I don't want to do anything. But when I have my why, it'll help me to continue going down that path. Number 4, set small goals first. I just explained to you what I did for my miracle morning. Originally, when I started out, I would only do a 5-minute meditation, and this was 3 times a week. Now I try and get it 7 times a week. I would do a 5-minute meditation. I was waking up at like 5 o'clock in the morning instead of 4 o'clock. I would stretch briefly. I would run. It would be like a half a mile. And then I would do push-ups and stuff. And obviously I started at one point where I was only doing about 30 push-ups and 30 sit-ups, right? But I started with these small goals, because a lot of times what happens with me is I'll try and start with these big goals because that's where I was 3, 4, 5 years ago. And what ends up happening is you wake up, you do everything maybe that first day, that next day you're sore, and then all of a sudden you end up breaking your discipline, your self-discipline. But start off with small goals. As you conquer those small goals, then move into bigger goals and bigger goals and bigger goals, and keep pushing yourself. That's the great thing about discipline. Number 5, practice prioritizing. Very, very important. When you practice prioritize, it makes your situation a lot easier. When I have in the morning, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to prioritize with regards to my self-discipline. This is what has to happen. And understand, within that confinement, I've tested new and different things at certain times. You know, something like waking up at 5 just didn't work out because of the time frame. I needed 2 hours in order to get everything that I needed to get done and actually be able to, you know, relax a little bit before I actually start work. Okay? So prioritize, know what it is and what you need to do. Number 6, know your weaknesses. I can't express to you how important that is, right? When you understand your weaknesses, then you can work on those weaknesses, right? With regards to everything that's going on. If I have a problem at waking up at 4 o'clock every single morning to get my miracle morning done, then maybe that's a weakness at 4. Maybe I got to push it to 4:30 or 5 o'clock. But understand your weaknesses. It'll help you along the road with regards to your self-discipline. And then number 7, the last thing that I state for you to do is to get friends to hold you accountable. That is so, so key. If you notice in Facebook, a lot of times they have Facebook groups with regards to everything. Even the Miracle Morning, you can get on there. A lot of times what happens is you can get discouraged, you can not want to do something, and by having a friend or somebody to hold you accountable, you'll do better. I talked about in another video before with regards to me and my wife, and you find out that every single day we go and we do the workouts that you have on your on our watches, where it actually gives the actual how many calories you need to burn, and it shows it right there. And so if I didn't burn my calories for the day, my wife may say, hey, you know, you're a little short 50 calories for the day, or whatever. You want to take a quick walk, or whatever the circumstance is. Your friends, and you got to have the correct friends to hold you accountable, not giving you excuses with regards to when you don't want to do it, but holding you accountable, saying, hey, you know what? Remember your why. They understand everything that's going on, so when you try and slack, they can help push you to do what it is that you need to do in order to get where you have to get. I watched a video where Mike Tyson talked about discipline. I don't know if you guys seen it. It sort of kind of went viral. He said that he got to the point where The things that he hated doing every single day, he did them as if he loved them. That hit me like a ton of bricks. He went that extreme. Mike Tyson's a person that I like. Obviously, he has his things, his issues, just like any other human being. But that guy was disciplined. If you saw him in the beginning of his boxing and what the stuff that he did, he was so disciplined, self-disciplined, and as well as obviously his trainer at the time, Customato, helped keep him going. The reality is, if you want to be successful at anything, you're going to have to become self-disciplined. Start off with your small goals, build to the bigger goals, but understand what it is that you want to do, where it is that you want to go, and who do you have to become to be that person. So, if you have any questions with regards to self-discipline, credit, or debt, hit them down in the comment section. I promise you I'll answer those questions. And as always, you be great.